What's up, everybody? I hope you're all doing great today. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about the things that I know for a fact Spider-Man PS4 will do better than Spider-Man 2. And to get the biggest one out of the way early that's probably going to piss you guys off the most, the web swinging. It's the most controversial topic for any Spider-Man game. We all know this. And with the web swinging in this game, I think they got the physics completely nailed down with the cinematic aspect of it, where it just looks like you're in a fucking movie, and it just looks so smooth, and I am so excited to see this. Now here's why it's going to be better. The seamless transition of just swinging to being able to run up a wall like nothing ever happened, and you just quickly jump onto the next thing and go around any obstacle that's in your way. In Spider-Man 2, if there's any obstacles in your way, you had to have a lot of skill to be able to maneuver around those, so that way it didn't stop your momentum. But with this, I guarantee you guys it is going to be so much better. You are going to feel like Spider-Man more than you ever felt before in your life. Now, next thing, open world. I guarantee you guys this is going to be a much bigger, more expansive, more lively, and more just active New York. It's going to feel like New York, how it feels in real life. I think there's going to be a lot of different culture and a different feel for maybe every different part of the city that you go around. Say in Chinatown is going to have a different feel than what it feels in downtown Manhattan. And I'm really excited to see this because I believe that this open world is going to be perfect. Also, due to how the activities work, there's unlimited crime, and the way it's going to work is if you're swinging by, I don't know if you guys have seen some of the footage, but it's going to play in this video. You're literally swinging by, and there's a car chase, shootout, just all going down below you, and you can either choose to ignore those, or you can also choose to participate in those activities. Now, instead of going up to a citizen every single time that has a green question mark over their head, you're probably going to see something actually pop up on the screen. They've showed it in the trailers and the gameplay, where it's just going to be like an audio ping, or you'll get a message or a phone call that will tell you something is going on, and if you want to look into it, you should, check it out and try and stop the crime. Now, to the average gamer, Spider-Man 2's combat was relatively simple, unless you deeply really dove into it and got the combos nailed down and just played the game religiously to the point where you could memorize absolutely everything. The combat was probably pretty simple for you. Probably just ran up, uppercutted someone, did the 3-hit punch, and moved on to the next person, and maybe did a few web tricks. But I really think unless you got those combos nailed down, the combat was pretty simple for you in the first Spider-Man 2. So anyways, the way I think Spider-Man PS4 will improve on that, people are saying, oh, it's looking like it's Arkham City and whatnot. It's not going to be like Arkham City. Batman is a much stronger, well, he's not stronger, but he's more of a brute. Spider-Man is an acrobatic, and he's way stronger than Batman. So you'll see Spider-Man flipping over people, jumping higher, way up higher, doing all sorts of acrobatic tricks and stuff while he's fighting these people, acting like it's nothing, and being able to juggle these enemies in the air while doing web tricks at the same time. It's all going to incorporate just so many different things that we haven't seen in the Spider-Man game before into this one, and this combat is just going to blow just the simplicity out of the Spider-Man 2 combat. I mean, I like combo-based games. I mean, they're fun, but I think the way they're doing this, I think they got it nailed down, because they want you to feel like Spider-Man, and when you want to feel like Spider-Man, you got to make people actually feel like they're Spider-Man, the way Spider-Man fights is a very specific style, and I think it's going to be really special with what they're developing, and I think it's going to feel really smooth once we get our hands on it. Alright, now everybody, I know for a fact Spider-Man 2 never even had a stealth mechanic because it was limited by its time all the way back in 2004. Believe it or not, it's been 14 years since that game. It's pretty hard to believe. But regardless, I think it's a aspect that I think Spider-Man PS4 will get right due to the advancements and all the things that this developer that will be able to do with it. And based off of the stuff that we've seen, the parts where Spider-Man used a crane, just pulled it down on people like it was nothing, like the big old wrecking ball from it. And just seeing stuff like that and how his takedowns work, because I don't know if you guys remember this, but in the Spider-Man 2 game that came out in, when was it, like 2014, Literally, if you were in the open world, it was the same takedown every single frickin' time. I mean, literally, like, unless you were in a story mission, the story mission had different takedowns. The ones in the open world, it was literally you would pull them towards you, punch them, and then web them up, and they'd be on the ground. And I know for a fact this game will not have that because that was complete utter bullshit in that game. It was just lazy and unbelievably stupid. But I know for a fact Spider-Man PS4 is going to get it right because how hard these guys are working on this game and for how long it's been in development for. I know for a fact they're going to get it right. And imagine the traversal that will be included with stealth, you know, because I think you'll be able to maybe even run along the wall, or it's going to be some really cool stuff, guys. I guarantee it. Just hold out and wait. I know for a fact it's going to be great. Now, one more thing. There's going to be stealth trees for every single mechanic in this game. Traversal, combat, you name it. So no matter what you're doing in stealth, you're going to be able to upgrade it, and it's just going to get better the longer the game goes on. I don't know if you guys remember seeing the commercials for the Spider-Man 2 game way back in the day. The biggest theme of those commercials were go anywhere, do anything. And that's generally the goal of any open world game. I think that, well, at least if you want to make a good one, that you would try and do is have the go anywhere, do anything you want. So if you're Spider-Man, you should be able to do anything Spider-Man does and go anywhere Spider-Man could go. And with this, I know for a fact this will be better in Spider-Man PS4. This will be better because it's going to give you the ultimate Spider-Man experience. It's going to give you the best of Peter. It's going to give you the best of Spider-Man. You're going to feel like the stress that Peter gets when with the things he undergoes in his life. And you're going to see the power of Spider-Man and what he can truly do. And because there's really not a lot of, you know, what would you call it? Like, say, video games or movies that have really captured Spider-Man the way they're capturing him in this. 26 years old, I believe they said, is how old he is, and he's an adult Spider-Man. Yeah, we kind of saw that in the Raimi trilogy, but we get to experience that, and we get to basically be in that simulator of us being Spider-Man, going through the things that he's going to go through and experience them in this game. And I really think, like, with Spider-Man 2, they kind of dove into this, like, oh, Pete talks about his apartment being low on rent and taking pictures for J. Jonah Jameson. This one, it's going to show the emotional impact of it, and it's going to treat it like it's more like a movie and way more serious and dive into it way deeper than it's ever been gone into before. Alright, now guys, story. This is a big one for me because I love a good story. That's why I love just single player games in general. And you know, Spider-Man 2 had a good story. It took the idea of a movie game and it made it work. And it made it work because it didn't just stick to what the movie did. It threw in other villains and they made them all kind of intertwine with each other, kind of. And the way that the story went, it worked really well and I really enjoyed it. But this isn't just a movie game. This is an all-original Spider-Man Peter Parker story. There's nothing else to it. It's all original. It's something that we've never seen before. I know for a fact they got to be pulling inspiration from different aspects of certain Spider-Man media, but they are doing what they want with this character. And I really think that this story, I think it's going to be more powerful. And I think it's going to be a hell of a lot more different than just your Spider-Man movie game. So I figured I'd save one of the best and one of the most adored things all of us gamers look for in a good superhero video game. Boss battles. We love boss battles, all of us. I know I love them. I know all you guys love them too. And I know for a fact in this game they're going to be doing boss battles right. They're going to feel cinematic and they're going to feel real, and you're going to experience them like Spider-Man, like you've never experienced it ever before. And you guys really just got to trust me on this because I know for a fact it is going to be so cool. The way I expect this to be up to par with, I expect this to be up to par with the Mr. Freeze battle in Arkham City. I know that's a lot to ask. I mean, they showed a little bit of that Shocker battle in one of the demos at E3, and that looked, I mean, it looked okay, but I mean, it still looked like fun. And the biggest thing for me is I don't want every single boss battle to feel the exact same. I want everyone to feel different and feel special where I'll remember just all of it and how much fun it was. And I think that's something that we all expect and deserve from this game, because we haven't had a game with good boss battles with Spider-Man in a long time. Okay, it's gonna be real hard to top Mysterio's arena event in Spider-Man 2, because that was just so ridiculous and so much fun. I don't know why, I loved it. That one has a special place in my heart. But I really think with the, like, this one that's on screen right now, like the raft, I think that entire just meeting the whole Sinister Six, that is going to be in for some crazy battle, because we know for a fact Spider-Man is going to be facing off against them. And I think we're going to be in for a treat, and we're going to see some things in the Spider-Man game that we've never seen ever before. And I'm really excited to see that. And one other thing with the boss battles, I don't know if you guys remember this, but in Spider-Man 2, Black Cat assisted in some missions where she'd be fighting alongside you. And I think that will be a part of this in this game. I could see maybe Miles Morales jumping in and maybe having like group takedowns, or being able to play as Miles at some points. And I think he's gonna, since he's gonna be in the game, he might play a small part. So say he might be a part of one mission, but that one mission, say you could turn invisible and get, use all of Miles' powers and stuff, and throw you for a different loop than what we're used to in the story. Probably after a point where Peter's at a leveled up point, and it's been a decent while in the story. But still, I'd like to see some other Marvel characters pop up and fight alongside you, because that's something that I really enjoyed in Arkham Knight. Seeing, like Dick Grayson, Nightwing, just fighting alongside you and just beating the living shit out of people. It was just so cool. And I'm really excited to see what they do. And, I mean, even if there's not, I'm not going to be disappointed. But, I mean, you can't do anything but hope, right? Alright, now guys, what do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? I want to know what you guys think. What will be the best parts of Spider-Man PS4 that will be done better than Spider-Man 2? Because Spider-Man 2, for most of us, is the king of Spider-Man games. It was perfect. I loved it. Honestly, well, perfect is an over-exaggeration. It was an amazing game, and I loved it. But I want to know what you guys think. Tell me what you guys think, what will be better in Spider-Man PS4 versus Spider-Man 2. Really curious to hear what you guys think, and I will see you guys in the next video, and thank you so much for watching.